Hello everyone, and Trisha, it's me Jenny. It's time for another not naked video response to Trisha Hershberger's series Naked Truth, where we talk as candidly and as truthfully as possible about a subject of our choosing, straight out the shower, no makeup, wet hair, first take, one take, and so on and so forth. Most people choose to do it naked, I choose not to, but either way it's not a sexy time thing, it's a being a vulnerable and honest type thing. And today's subject is pet names, and how you feel about them and that sort of thing. And my go-to thought on pet names is I don't mind them, but it really does, they apply to, you know, contextual relationship, and, you know, personal upbringing rules. Really, it's a very personal thing. Like, I often call, you know, colleagues and stuff honey, or I do a lot of the time I use the term lady. I refer to my female colleagues as, oh lady, what are you doing? Which I quite like because it's not a usual pet name and it doesn't have any, it's a truthful fact. These people are ladies, they aren't honeys or birds or whatever, you know. Then you're not calling them pet, you're not demeaning them because it's a true fact, they are ladies. So I like that one as one that I personally use. I also use honey, and for the most part I don't think people mind too much, but I can really understand why it can bother a lot of people. It does come down to context and upbringing. I would feel very uncomfortable with a man that I am not used to or haven't met or meeting for the first couple of times coming out with a pet name. I feel like that would be highly inappropriate unless it's a contextual thing to that conversation. But any other time I'd feel very uncomfortable with that. With women, slightly different feelings there, but it really does depend on the relationship and the power dynamics between me and them at the time, and age comes into it, and, you know, position. When you're in the service industry it's a whole thing versus if you're a customer versus being in the industry. And it does really apply to personal rule sets, and, you know, learning that if you have called someone something that they disagree with or they find uncomfortable or demeaning, learning to apologise and learning not to use that term for them. And that doesn't necessarily mean that everyone will be offended in the same way, but it's learning individual preferences, and just being careful. There are certain ones that hold more negative connotations than others, but it's a matter of finding, you know, being comfortable with language is something that took me a long time to come by, because I was so scared of using, like, misspoken words that would accidentally offend someone or accidentally hurt someone's feelings. That was when I left secondary school, and during secondary school I was pretty much, I barely spoke because I was so frightened of accidentally saying the wrong thing and embarrassing myself, or accidentally saying the wrong thing and unintentionally being the bully, because that's how I compartmentalised bullying, was that, you know, half the time it's accidental, half the time it's just personal venting, and them, you know, venting their emotions in a negative way. And because of that understanding of how bullies worked, I was so scared of accidentally saying the wrong thing and becoming a bully by accident. And so, you know, I've been very, very careful with language use, and it's not until the last couple of years that I've kind of learnt to talk in a really weird way. I've learnt to be able to banter and to be able to, you know, just chit-chat without fear of saying the wrong thing, and then if I do say the wrong thing, it not being such a crippling disaster that I can't apologise and move on, and work with people even if I did say the wrong thing one time. So it's about learning personal preferences. Anyway, I think that just about covers it. I don't mind being called honey or, you know, sweetheart in the right contexts. I've never really had a romantic relationship where someone has really come up with a pet name for me. It just never really happened. But, you know, I'd have to view that context if and when it happens. A few people, like, when it comes to just nicknames, like, the only person who calls me a nickname really is my twin sister, who calls me Jen, or occasional friends or family who will call me Jen, but that's pretty much it. I'm Jenny to everyone else. But yeah, that is about it. End of the video. Feel free to comment, and hopefully I'll see you guys next week, maybe even on time. Crazy. Bye for now.